Hello, so my name is Cheryl Best, and today I'm going to be talking about the importance of nourishing your body when you have a chronic illness. So, eating balanced meals and paying attention to what your body needs is important when you have a chronic illness, and it's important anyway, isn't it? So, it's important whether you have a chronic illness or not. We are bombarded, aren't we, by the messages about eating balanced meals, and I'm sure, yes, you know that it's important. Um, but it is vital when we have a chronic illness because we have other things at play, and so it's possibly more, I would say, important that we, as chronic illness sufferers, that we are paying attention to what we are feeding ourselves, what we're putting into our bodies. And so, you know, I do understand the difficulties of doing it, of having or making sure that we are eating balanced meals when, some days you probably can barely stand. I totally understand that. I've been battling, like I've said, with chronic back pain, if you've been listening to me. And there are days like that where it's a big no-no. There's absolutely no way that I am able to be standing around chopping things or preparing things or standing around a cooker. There's absolutely no way that I can do that. But what I do find that helps me when I have those sort of days is that I'm having foods that require very little preparation. I'm buying things that I know I could probably whip something up probably in 5-10 minutes because it's everything's there that I just need to either throw onto a plate and heat up, or it's something that's easy that I can be preparing, as in salads. Salads that are already in bags that I can just be putting onto a plate and preparing. So we have to find things that when we are having those days where you might know that with your chronic illness that there's going to be at least 4 days, let's say, out of the week that that you're not going to be able to be standing around and preparing a meal. So make sure that you're buying things that requires very little preparation. So a balanced diet, it is really important because we need to be building strength, and building strength is so important when we have chronic illnesses. So we need to be building strength, obviously, on a physical basis, but we also need to be building mental strength. And if we are depriving our bodies of food, then we are depriving our minds. So we really do need to be thinking about having a balanced meal and having balanced meals throughout the day. So we have to think that we are trying to build strength. We need energies just to get by. A lot of us are experiencing issues with fatigue and tiredness, and then if you couple that with also with poor diets, then we're just going to make things even worse. So we need to be building strength, we need to be building energy, and we need to be making sure that we're creating some sort of resilience as well. We're not making this thing beat us, and we can't make this thing beat us so that it's then causing issues with our diet. If we are eating poorly because of our illnesses, then there's something going on there where we are letting the illness kind of beat us. So we've just got to find hacks. We've got to find ways where we can be incorporating healthy foods into our life. So the best ways of doing that is by having balanced diet, which is incorporating whole foods. So we need to be eating fruits, we need to be eating vegetables and lean proteins, and we need to be having whole grains. That is vital. That's what we need to be having. And then on those days, like I've said, on those days where you have no energy, then make sure that you are finding things that are easy to prepare. But then on the flip side of that, if you're having a good day, or it's most likely you're going to be having a few good days in the week, then why not prepare meals ahead of time? So yeah, prepare something that's possibly going to take you a couple of hours, or something that you're going to be really enjoying, but prepare enough of it that you've got something there for another 2 or 3 days. Do that. Prepare ahead of time. Okay, making sure that you've got these meals there that can be just easily heated up, because that can be a huge lifesaver when you've got those things there when you're having a day where possibly you can hardly walk, or you're experiencing a lot of pain, or you're experiencing a lot of fatigue. Okay, so making sure that you're buying nutritious foods that you can prepare quickly. So that could look like salads. So like I've said, for me, I love salads that are out of a bag. It's easy for me to just prepare and plate up. Also frozen vegetables. I think the fresh stuff gets a lot of it gets the best rap, doesn't it, really, when it comes to looking at like vegetables. But frozen vegetables are fantastic, and in fact they're more nutritious. You're getting more nutrients by having frozen vegetables. So have frozen vegetables. It requires no chopping. It just literally means going into your freezer, taking whatever you're having out of the freezer, and then opening the bag and then popping it in some hot water. have these things on hand, so just to make your life a lot easier. And then for me, meat, um, I can find that challenging sometimes, having to, stand around and, maybe seasoning meat, and then, having to keep checking on it all the time. And so cooked meats, cooked meats are so handy to have. They're just there, and then you can be flavoring those meats up at however you want to, and then adding it to your meal. And so that takes away, so much time that you would be, cooking these things from fresh. The amount of time that you're saving is huge, and the amount of time that you're saving being on your feet, or amount of time that you're saving chopping things. So for people like me who have issues with their back, let's say, I've got issues with my neck. And so there's some days that there's absolutely no way that I can be chopping things. I have no strength in my arms, and I have so much pain in my neck. And then with me having issues with my lower back, there's days where I can't stand. I cannot stand. It's impossible to do it. And so it is a lifesaver when I have these things there ready and prepared and just ready to go. And so I think the main thing with all of this, because I suppose when you are dealing with illness, chronic illness, and you are hungry, you will just grab whatever you can grab. And you might be telling yourself, I need to eat healthy, I need to eat healthy. But, there's some chocolate there that is there that I can just have, and it's going to be satisfying. And I think that's got a big thing to do with is what we need to be doing when it comes to eating nutritious and having balanced meals. That we need to make sure that we are having meals that we enjoy, instead of reaching for the chocolate that we're going to enjoy instead. And so, we need to make sure that these meals that we're having, that they are satisfying, however quick it's taken for you to prepare them. Make sure that your meals are nourishing. Make sure that your meals are satisfying. Because I think the worst thing that you can be doing, especially with chronic illness, is when you're feeling absolutely miserable, and then you just reach for some miserable looking food, and then that doesn't make you feel better. We want to be eating foods that are enjoyable, that's going to make us feel better, by eating it. So make sure you're doing that. And then lastly, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Like I've said, standing in pain, preparing meals is no good if you're going to be left with more pain. And I've done that plenty of times. And you've got this goodwill in your mind that, yes, I'm going to do it. You may have bought all your ingredients, and then you've tried your hardest to prepare this thing, but then you've just been left in more pain. And I don't think it's any good if we're doing that to ourselves. It's no good at all. So make sure that you pace yourself, listen to your body, and just carefully nourish your body. Hello, Cheryl here. Right, so I have a newsletter called Cheryl Shares, and with my newsletter I talk about the ups and downs of living with a chronic illness. And then my background also is that I'm trained as a nutritional therapist and a yoga teacher. So in the newsletter I will also talk about the benefits of vitamins and minerals and foods and certain diets. I'll also talk about the ups and downs of having a chronic illness, because I'm diagnosed with 3 of them, and so I understand the ups and downs, the battles of living with a chronic illness, and the kind of the messages that we have to give ourselves to motivate us to keep going. It can be quite easy to kind of like be sitting back and not doing things, and letting our conditions kind of take over. So this is about motivating you to get moving and to be doing things, and to not let these things rule us. We don't want to be ruled by chronic illness. So if you are interested in my newsletter, if you go into the description area, click on the link, and then come and join me. Okay, so you take care. Bye bye for now.